place for living. And at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living, helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business, making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
A family farm is, well, different. The cab of a tractor is the CEO's office. Board meetings are held on the bed of Grandpa's pickup. And a conference call is a holler across the yard. To hurry your chores, kids, there's homework to be done. A family farm is about family pride as much as profit. Farmers Union Insurance believes this way of life is worth protecting. Because this isn't just where we work, it's also our family's home. Farmers Union Insurance, simply different.
Coming to you live from the Bonfire Studios North. It's another episode of Tauros Weekly. I'm your host, Peter Theodos. Joining me, as always, is Ken Oda. And Ken, Nana's checking in. Helen Zahn missed her last week, so it's good to see her back on watching this show. She says, hope you and I are having a great summer, and we're staying busy.
We are, and it's about to get a lot better with baseball coming back.
Exactly. Corey Thompson quickly checking in as well, saying good evening, fellas. So keep those comments and questions coming. Starting early. Let's see if we can get some more. Let's bring in our two guests, as yesterday was the entry draft for the Tauros, and we are lucky enough to be talking to two of our draft picks that we had yesterday, and Max Bogdanovich and Joey Dosan. So, gentlemen, welcome to Tauros Weekly, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Max, we'll start with you. Why don't you just introduce yourself a little bit to the audience or the Tauros fans, and tell a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Max Bogdanovich. I played my past 2 seasons for Cushing Academy. A 2001 birth year, 19 years old. Really excited to come out and play with you guys out in North Dakota. Committed to the University of Maine, so being from Maine, like I just said, from Maine, Scarborough, so kind of used to the wilderness, things like that up north, so it's going to be good.
Joey, what about you?
Yeah, hi, I'm Joey Dosan. I'm 19 years old, 2001 birth year. From Bloomington, Minnesota, so not too far from Minot. Last year I played in the MJ with Steinbeck. So I'm excited to be at this organization. And I've heard nothing but things. I have a buddy who's tendered with you guys, so I'm happy to be a part of this organization.
And yeah, that was going to be my first question for both of you guys. We'll start with you, Max. Since you're coming from a little bit farther away, how much did you know about the Tauros before yesterday's draft?
Not too much, to be honest. I got a phone call right before the draft, kind of introduced and kind of looked it up, things like that. And next thing you know, I got drafted. So, quick turnaround. It was awesome. I couldn't be any happier with what happened with the draft.
Joey, you said you knew someone who's a Tauros tender?
Yeah, Ben Strinden, he's one of my best buddies. He's there. Actually, he played, I think, 1 or 2 games for you guys.
Yeah,
so,
he already has a Toro goal under his belt.
Yeah, that's all he does. So, Benny, yeah, I'm really close. So, hopefully we up the I've known about since last year. I was thinking about hopefully getting drafted by them last year. It just didn't pan out, but this year I had the opportunity line. We've what they would want to buy. Don't be.
We lost you there for a second, Joey, but we'll bounce back to Max. You're already a Division I commit, committed to University of Maine. I imagine you're excited to be going to school close to home, but how much?
Yeah.
Are you nervous about coming this far away from home?
Yeah, I'm pretty good dealing with things like that. I think it's good, kind of get a change in structure to move out there, kind of experience new things and, create relationships with people that, I would never meet before. So I'm actually looking forward to it.
And you played at Cushing in the New England Prep League the last couple of years. You were a captain there, so you're not a stranger to living away from home, are you?
Nope. No, I've lived away from home for the past 2 years, so it's kind of, giving me good exposure to, being by myself, things like that, away from the family. So it shouldn't be too hard.
Joey, you talked about being in the MJHL and for Steinbach. Talk a little bit about your experience there and some of the things that you are going to take from there and bring to Minot.
Yeah, I think some of the biggest things I've took, just the speed of the game, the physicality of the game you have to have. I think it was a learning year for me last year, just kind of understanding how I need to play versus playing U18 prep. So I think it was just a different game, and I'm excited to kind of take the things that I've learned last year into the organization, especially into camp next week. So I'm just excited.
Talking about camp next week, for both of you, finding out yesterday that you're drafted by the team and that we have camp a week from Friday. How much have you been able to prepare, and were you preparing over the summer, expecting to go somewhere and have a camp coming up soon?
Yeah, no, I was expecting it. I got the text today, saying the camp's in a week, so now I just gotta kind of sit down with the family. I haven't even told them when it was, and figure out plans to actually get out there. So I gotta sit down and do that. Hopefully there's a flight going, because with all that going around, so hopefully we figure out something soon.
How about you, Joey? Were you able to do much, stay in shape?
Yeah, I think for me, where I live, there's been a few skates here and there. Not so much scrimmaging just because of the stipulations but I know that I've been able to get a little off-ice workouts here and some on-ice time. So I think I'm going to be pretty ready for camp come next week.
Looking at both of your bios, you're both bigger guys. Max, you're 6'3", 229 listed at. Joey, you're listed at 6'5", 216. I think that's something maybe we've lacked in past years is size. What do you guys? What's your style of play like?
Mine. I'm a very hard-nosed kid. You put it in the corner, I'm gonna run you down, find the puck, get it out, bring it up around top. I just compete every single day. Just go, go, go. I'm a go, go, go player.
How about you, Joey?
Yeah, I think for me, I've grown over the past couple of years. So I was about 5'7" about 3 years ago, and then I had to change my game just because I had a huge growth spurt. So I had to have a huge game change. But I think for me, it's more of like a skilled heavy man game, almost. There's a couple big guys in the NHL who are a little bit more skilled. So I think I like to play in the corners and stay in front of the net and look for nooks and crannies, try and put it in the back of the net. But I think I play a good 200-foot game. I also changed positions from wing to center last year, so kind of just going off of the learning year last year that it was. I think that I'm playing a different style of game, more rush hockey, and a lot more speed in my game.
Joey, you mentioned kind of modeling your game off a couple bigger NHLers. Who are those people and those players, and how have you kind of modeled your game after theirs?
I think for me, one of the guys that I look at is like an Evgeny Malkin. I'm a lefty, so I think looking at a big lefty who likes to, use his speed, especially on the rushes, being able to beat defenders and whatnot, and also, not being afraid and shying away from, giving big hits in the corners. I think that's a guy that I really look at and I want to model my game after.
How about you, Max?
It's actually funny that you said that because, kind of my whole childhood's been the same person, believe it or not. Being a lefty, it's funny that you said that. I was hoping you weren't. Same exact person, believe it or not. Same. I'm a lefty as well. It's kind of funny.
That's awesome.
Kind of similar to exactly what you said, yeah. So, bigger guy, kind of, playing over here on this side of the world. So watching him quite a bit, so.
Now, Max, you're already committed, so you've got that under your belt. But you've got 1 to 2 years here in Minot before you go off to Maine. What are your goals?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to accomplish during your time here in junior?
I think, developing a little more skill up forward. Once I get the puck out of the corner, picking my head up and finding that guy right away. That split second quicker that I need to get.
What about you, Joey? You don't have a commit yet, but is there any certain goals and other stuff that you want to reach while you're here in Minot?
Yeah, I think I'd like to earn a college commitment, but I think it's more about developing my whole game. If you're going to earn a college commitment, you gotta be a complete package player. So I think I want to work at my game as a centerman. Just switching positions from last year and gaining the confidence last year, taking that next step for this year. And then also I think as a team, I know like we have a lot of talent, especially in the prospect pool. So I would like to win a championship. I mean, obviously you guys have a pretty storied franchise as far as that goes. So I'd love to win a championship at my time.
I'm sure the coaching staff loves to hear that. I know the fans will for sure.
This is kind of a question for both of you, but we briefly talked about it before we came on the show, but with this whole COVID thing, how did that affect your season last season, and what was the experience like for you finding out that your season was just cut short and it was just stopping abruptly? We'll start with Joey.
Yeah, I mean, for me, our team, we had a really tight-knit group, a lot of 20-year-olds. We actually exceeded the league limit by 2. We had to sit 2 guys each night. And I was actually battling a lot of injuries last year, so I missed half the year due to injury as it was. But we had swept the first round, and then that night we actually got the call that our season was over. So it was really tough on us as a team, being a really good group and having a really successful season last year. But I guess that's just the way that the season was supposed to end up, and you got to look forward to the next opportunity.
What about you, Max?
So it's funny. My season actually, we got to play the full thing. We end in the beginning of March, so COVID wasn't really, it was here at the time, but it wasn't major in the United States. So we played it right through, and then exactly a week later, we got the call from school saying, you guys got to go home. So we went home, and we actually had spring break. I think it was like March 14th or 15th. We went on spring break, and we went home, and then we never went back to school. We just did online school.
How was that, first off? Like, did you guys struggle with it? Because I know a lot of my peers that I was still in contact with from my college days, and even some high schoolers that I knew, they didn't like it. They didn't like the online schooling. What was your guys' experience with it? And then how did your teachers kind of work with you while you guys were at home? We'll start with Max.
So for me, like I said, we got sent home on spring break, and they're like, you're going home. And then towards the end of the break, they're like, we're going to figure it out, kind of what we're doing. And then they said, we're going full online. And then we actually had to go probably like a month ago to actually pick our stuff up from school. So all the kids, I felt bad, graduation, things like that, obviously. But with the teachers and things like that, all of our classes met once a week at the beginning of the week, and then we had asynchronous classes for certain ones. Your math, English, science would meet once or twice a week, and then the rest were all asynchronous, and you just had to submit it by Sunday at midnight. But, my feeling with it, given the situation, it wasn't horrible. You're still learning, but, you're learning from a computer.
And Joey, I imagine you were done with school, right? So you kind of lucked out. You didn't have to worry about that?
Yeah, I actually, so I graduated the year before, but I was taking a couple college classes, just some generals and stuff like that, just to keep my mind sharp. My mom requires that I need to take some sort of schooling, just, she's pretty worrisome.
All the moms watching the show probably appreciate that, so.
Yeah, so, my mom wants to just keep my mind sharp, and I love her for that. So I was online. I've been online for about 2 years now. So, but it was an easy transition. I mean, going home, especially if I needed to go do anything, I could contact my teachers remotely, actually in the city. So if I needed anything, they would have that. But it was an easy transition for me just because we didn't have that face-to-face interaction like Max. So for sure.
Now, enough about the pandemic stuff. Let's help fans get to know you guys a little bit before we cut you loose here. What besides hockey, obviously, what other sports do you guys play or enjoy?
So for me, I was a big track and field kid. I did the shot put, and then I was also a lacrosse goalie. And then I picked up a new sport while I was at Cushing my first year. In the spring, we actually play golf there. Most seasons are in the fall for most high schools, I know. But in the spring, I picked up a golf club, gave it a whirl, and I actually made the team. So I do that quite a bit in the summer now. It's pretty fun. I'm glad I did that.
How about you, Joey?
Yeah, growing up, I played lacrosse from when I was from a really young age, and then played all the way through high school until I left high school, and then I also play in a basketball league right now, and then with a lot of my friends and old high school teammates from other sports, and then same thing with Max. I kind of just started to pick up the club. A lot of my friends were, and I didn't play in high school, but I've been playing a lot in the summertime. So this is something to do outside of the rink, and I'm not any good at it, but I'm working on it.
One last question before we let you guys go. But what does it mean to play for the Tauros? What will it mean to you to be able to put on a Tauros jersey this upcoming season? We'll start with Max.
I think it's a great opportunity. After talking with Coach and the staff, I'm really excited. They're really nice. The facilities are beautiful, and I think they're going to do a really good job coaching. Different going to be, it's going to be different moving out to North Dakota, but at the same time, I'm going to love it. Really, really looking forward to it, and I'm excited.
Joey?
Yeah, I actually was fortunate to actually skate with the Tauros, not this past year, but the year before when I was at North Star Christian Academy, and I was really enamored with just a lot of the rich history that a lot of guys who went there, and just the pride that everyone took in the organization. So that's going to be something I'm going to hopefully try and replicate and carry on. So I mean, it's going to mean a lot to me if I get to put on that jersey and to just play for that team. I'm really excited about the opportunity, just like Max said. So it's just an awesome opportunity.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you aboard, and congrats on the draft picks.
Yeah, some of our fans are checking in. Helen's on, says congratulations once again. And then two of our billets, Jody Meckel and Shelly Carbo, also welcome you guys to Minot. I welcome you, and I know Ken's.
Fans are excited to have you.
Yep.
And we're excited to see you guys on the ice here in a little over a week.
Yeah, so welcome to Minot. Welcome to the Tauros family, gentlemen. And look forward to getting you guys here in town.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Fans, that is Max Bogdanovich and Joey Dosan, two of the Tauros draft picks from yesterday's draft.
2 of 5. We should run you guys down the rest of the picks before we get out of here today. Max was taken 17th overall in the first round. Tyler Kostalecki picked up in the second round, as was Joey. Then in the third round, we picked up Christopher Alexander, who I'm intrigued to see as well. He's a kid who comes from the same program that produced Jojo Hargindegi and Cody Sherman.
Mm-hmm.
So, we know we've gotten some good players from that Junior Ducks team out in Anaheim. And Dylan Schneider in the 5th round comes back, a guy who was coming off injury last year and I think would have been a big contributor had he not been hurt. He went down to the 3HL to rehab, and that kind of worked out because we have to take one player from the 3HL in the draft, and we had a guy we knew we liked stashed down there. So just the way it worked out with the season ending his rehab assignment, he was still a 3HL player technically. So we're able to pick him up. So overall, I think the coaching staff was pretty happy about the draft yesterday.
Yeah, we were both in on the Zoom call with the coaches and the staff and the scouts, and they all seemed super excited. They got all the players that they wanted, which is obviously really good. Just listening to some of their comments, I'm still learning the game, and that was my first. Well, I sat in on the supplemental one, but an entry-level draft was definitely different than the supplemental, and just being able to listen to the conversations that were being had was just really cool to listen to.
It really was, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the guys out on the ice.
I'm excited for main camp to see.
You've teased it a little bit. We're going to be out there. We're going to bring cameras. Maybe we'll do some live shots. I don't know. We're going to mic some
Live,
guys up.
Instagram Live, stuff like that.
I think we talked about it last week. We've got to mic up Petey. We'll figure out some other guys too that will have wear a microphone during these games. So it'll be a fun weekend out in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And what else do we have going on? And I think
the Dash auction.
Yes, the Dash auctions. Toro Signature Summer rolls on Dash. Get yourself some signed gloves, jerseys, pucks.
We got who did we have? We have Hunter Bjorge's jersey. I think it's Villy's gloves, and then a puck signed. I can't remember who the pucks are signed by off the top of my head. But just head over to the
Dash Auctions, dashapp.io.
Or head over. The link's on our main page on our website, so you can just go there and go that way to Dash. So.
And, of course, the 10-year jersey. You can order your custom Toro's 10th anniversary jersey. The jerseys we'll be wearing every Saturday night on the Pepsi rink. So you can go on our website there as well and order those. Get yours in advance so you have it for the home opener whenever that may be. We'll be announcing that soon is what I understand. There was a big league meeting today, so I think news on the schedule coming out later this week as well. You'll want to keep an eye out for that on gotoros.com or, of course, all of our social media channels.
Exactly. So that'll do it from the Bonfire Studios North. For Sean Bachhoven behind the scenes, doing a great job working with the technical stuff as we had a couple of difficulties early in the show. Did a great job once again to get that up and going. That's Ken Oda. I'm Peter Theodos. We will see you in 2 weeks. We will not be having a show next week.
As we're getting ready for main
camp. Yeah. Yep. So hopefully we can have some good quality stuff for you and some hockey content that I know everyone's wanting. So signing off here from the Bonfire Studios North. We'll see you in 2 weeks.